welcome, mourners. You are listening to the Dirge of Mourning. We are your hosts, Andrew A. Graves and Terri Thorne. In this episode, we will be talking about our favourite Funeral Doom album covers. So, with that in mind, I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, you go ahead, and then we'll go back and forth.
Not a problem then. So, the first one I'm going to do should probably come as no surprise now that your eyeballs are fixated on the screens, hopefully, with the album by Dios, To Depart. What does one say about digital art? This is all you get, folks. A cemetery with a filter, colour, a greyish blue. Not much else to say. But the reason I love it is because it is just so simplistically done. It's just straight to the point. There's no faffing about here. It's, done. That's why I love it. Plus, also, the album that it's attached to is just phenomenal.
Right. I mean, I suppose we wouldn't want to do covers to albums we hate.
Well, maybe that could be the next one.
Unless the artwork's really, really, really good. Yeah, you never know. So,
but yeah, that's honestly that's all I've got to say.
Do you know approximately what year this is and who did the art? Do you know any of this stuff?
I don't know who did the art because again, it's on a digital album, so probably someone from the band just whipped it together.
Okay.
And the album itself, that didn't come out until about December 14th, 2015.
So quite a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
But are you attracted to those? You like those colors, right? You like those kind of colors.
Yes, those greys with the hints of blue throughout it, with the black and white sort of scheme. Those are the colours that I am genuinely attracted to it towards artwork.
Yeah, you use a lot of that in your own artwork as well.
Yeah. So which is
a great color scheme for Funeral Doom.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So basically, I use that as like a similar color palette because I feel that it works really well with Funeral Doom in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably why I'm attracted to this album art, just by its simplistic color scheme as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say on this one, guys.
Okay, should I go ahead with my first choice of artwork?
Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, so once again, I'm mentioning Shape of Despair. I just love them as a band, but I also adore this artwork. This album is Shape of Despair, Return to the Void. And the reason that I'm attracted to this artwork is because it is also very simplistic, but it has elements of post-impressionism art, which would also tend to lead more into just a modern or abstract concept. So what you have is the cover with the name of the band, the name of the album, and very light, small writing at the top, which is nice because it doesn't detract from the artwork of the digipack. So on the cover, you have, at first, it just looks like grays and whites kind of swirled together, but then you realize it's a forest and sky with clouds possibly, and highlights of red, which red being highlights sort of took me by surprise because I also am more drawn to like the cooler colors like blues and purples and things. Yeah. But when you open it, the forest continues. As a matter of fact, you can see the trees, the sort of evergreen or pine type trees better. And I am wondering if they are possibly dead trees.
And is is this in the Digipack version, yeah?
Yeah, this is in the Digipack version. And when you look at the CD itself, it also has the trees and the sky with the clouds on there. And underneath, same thing, underneath the CD, it's carried out and onto the back. So it's just basically the same sort of nondescript forest with these beautiful highlights of red. And when I did look in the book, I do want to give credit to who the artist was, if I can find the name again in here somewhere that I did find. Oh God, where the heck did that go? You know, cover artwork and the sigil by, I'm going to slaughter the name, but Marius Christiu. And the sigil is also just a very small little thing on the back. Shape of despair, you know, the SOD, and a circular motif. Very, very pretty, soft, pretty small. I just like the whole concept of nothing is over the top. It's subdued. Everything is subdued. And it's just, to me, it's just beautiful. That's all.
When I look at the artwork, it adds to the like gloomy sense of the music as well. When you stare at the art, it helps bring out that feeling.
Well, I mean, we are talking about Return to the Void, so.
Right.
But that is pretty much it. It is just a wonderful little digipack with a nice, solid artwork on there.
I would also have to say that I like the fact that the motif like follows all the way through the album.
Yeah, all the way around. So any which way you look, you're getting that forest. You know, no matter how you look at it.
It is a beautiful piece. Like
it really is. If this were just hanging up in a gallery, it would be a beautiful piece of artwork.
Oh, absolutely.
And
well,
that's
I guess that brings me to my second one.
Number 2 for you, yeah.
Which, this is a tricky one for me because as much as I enjoy this album and its artwork, I do have 2 small criticisms that I'm just going to quickly get off the bat first. One, the band name is nowhere to be seen other than the side of the packaging, which, convenience sake, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it doesn't have the logo on the actual art itself, like on the front,
yeah.
If I was just to pick this up in a CD store, I wouldn't know who it was done by,
yeah,
what I'm looking at. It doesn't even have the title of the album either on the packaging here. The other small criticism is no booklet, no lyrics. I don't know.
So, what band is this and what album are we talking about?
Well, the album is actually done by Sinister Downfall. And the album is called The Last Witness.
Okay.
So
now, that's on the
fact.
That's on the end, on the side there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, due to the fact that it doesn't have a booklet, I have no idea who did the fantastic photography.
Ah.
So, what we're looking at here is a tombstone or a sculpture in a cemetery, obviously, by the nature of Funeral Doom, where this angel is holding a wreath next to an actual tombstone, I should say, looking very somber, sad, next to a backdrop of trees that are somewhat blurred out in the background, so the foreground is very sharp.
Yeah.
The filter that they've used over it is to make it look sort of old and sort of grainy.
Yeah, yeah.
which when I first spied it, when I was looking for an album to get into, this one really caught my eye. So I instantly became a fan of the band immediately after, spying this album cover. Because it was different. Oh, here's something that's kind of generic. Why is it generic? Don't know. So we open up this particular digipack to where the artwork has now turned into a sort of blank slated color with random speckles of black.
So sort of just like an impressionistic type thing going on, or a smattering of color or non-color, black and white. But
yeah, it's almost as if you would look at a painter's desk and you would see all the little splodges. Oh,
well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I look, I've got nothing against these things.
Yeah.
The insert where the CD goes is just a close-up of the wreath that the angel is holding. Now, on the back of the album, where we find the contents of the songs, we have the back of the angel, where its wings are, and we see more of the trees in the background. Again, the same grainy filter is used throughout the entire piece.
So they're kind of doing like in the front, and in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that concept. That's nice.
The other piece of artwork, again, that has that same grainy filter is when you open up the digipack itself, the first thing you're greeted to is the angel's sad face staring down at you.
Yeah, that's nice.
So overall, the simplicity of it actually makes it quite cool.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because again, there is a lot of thought being put into it. The only thing it's missing, like I said, is the band's logo and the title on the front. Outside of that, I really don't think you could have made anything else that didn't just scream funeral doom. Really?
I know, really. It surely does. It truly represents the genre.
Absolutely. So, like I said, it's a fantastic album. If you haven't, for whatever reason, not picked this up, please do. And
Nice.
yeah, fantastic photography by. If you guys know who did it, please let me know in the comments.
Yeah, if somebody knows, that'd be cool.
So yeah, amazing.
Okay, I guess I'll do my number 2 one.
Yeah.
This is, I do not have the actual CD or digipack. I have a t-shirt, but it is an album cover. And this is from the band When Hearts Wither, and the artwork was done by Go-Go Malone. So the reason that I like this so much is you have a very ethereal feeling to, how can I even say it? It's like a, almost like a tintype or daguerreotype photo, but it is artwork. So you have that sort of coloring of almost a yellow with sort of a coppery coloring to it. And it is simply a vase with some dead roses laying on some kind of table or ground or something. And it's very just faded out. So nothing's really super sharp, but you can tell what things are. You can definitely tell what the roses and the vase are. And then there's just like these little white, whispery, almost smoke streams around it, around the vase. And at the top, it just says When Hearts Wither in a sort of script. And I absolutely love the artwork from the album, and I had to have the shirt because I love wearing this shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts to wear. I get a lot of compliments on this artwork and on this shirt. So there.
What album is it from?
I don't remember because I only have this shirt. I forget the name of the album. I didn't write it down or look it up.
That's where studio engineering comes in, folks. I'll do the hard, heavy lifting here. It's fine.
I could do that too, you know. Where's my phone?
So the album was from 2020.
Yes.
And it is called Empty Vases. Empty Vase, I should say.
Empty Vase.
Yes. Hence the vase.
I thought that was the song. I thought Empty Vase was a song. I thought the name of the album was something else.
No, that's also the name of the album. That's why it's called a title track.
Okay, smart guy.
And I can actually go into a little bit more detail if you wish.
Go ahead.
So the album was released as a digipack. You can find...
I missed out on, yeah.
Yes. So the artwork in and of itself was a sort of wraparound concept.
Which I would have loved to have seen, yes.
So yes, the digipack would open up to the booklet with the CD having a sort of smoky atmosphere with the reds and the blacks. So
which I really like.
A sort of smoky effect.
Yeah, the subdued colors of it give it that sort of old gothic almost feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that this is gothic music, but it gives it that atmospheric.
Yeah, it's almost as if it was. It's almost as if it was like a water painting, a watercolored painting.
Right. But yeah, and I'm not sure if it is or not watercolor, but it is. Yeah, it is definitely Empty Vase, and just beautiful subdued colors. You do have a little bit of a red in there, which brings out a little red and a little bit of pink, which brings out the vase and the flowers even more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really beautiful.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a stunning piece of art by Gogo Malone. And if you guys haven't checked out the album, please do. You will not be, remiss to do so because it is fantastic.
I know they have newer albums out now. But,
yeah, the new album is out as well with artwork again done by Gogo Malone.
Which is also very nice artwork. But for me, I adored this simply because of the subject matter and the colors. And I felt that it was a very nice design and had a little bit of a feminine feel, old world feel to it for me.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely stunning piece of art.
So that's my second one. Now your turn for number 3.
So my third one. This is where it gets complicated, folks. At least for me. So
go ahead. What's the band? What's the album?
Okay. This comes as no surprise whatsoever. Frowning.
No surprise at all.
Yeah. So by the end of the podcast, by the end that proceeds this into the future, all I shall ever be associated with is that's that guy that likes that one band, Frowning.
Yeah. We'll be playing it at your funeral.
Yeah. Well, yeah, might as well. So the album that I just absolutely loved from them, the minute I heard it, is Extinct. And that's the album that the cover that we're gonna talk about. Now this is where it gets complicated because it has two covers.
That's cool. I think that's interesting.
Now,
I like that.
The original cover, what would be the best way to explain this?
Well, aren't they slightly different colorations?
Yes, one is a sort of
like amber.
Yeah, amber, browns, yellows.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, you know, there's a digitalized candle holder giving off the light. On the side of that is a skull that is just being hinted at in this sort of like wooden room, I would assume. With the album logo at the bottom in bright white so you can see what it is that you're getting yourself into. Outside of that, I have no idea what the rest of the digipack would have looked like or who did the art.
Okay.
I can only assume it was the same artist who did the up-to-date art. The up-to-date art from 2017, because the original art came out way back in 2015, I think. 15 or 16, it was around about that time. If memory serves me right. But I'm sure someone in the comments can double check that and let us know. So the art for the new one is designed by the lead singer of the band, and
okay. Wow.
I am so sorry for butchering this, but I think this is how you pronounce his name. Val Artra Netris.
Okay.
I think. Again, I'm so sorry if I enunciated any of that incorrectly.
Yeah. Well.
Now, on to the actual art itself. The up-to-date art for the album Extinct is black and white, with yet again another candelabra type style, done slightly differently. So it's not the exact same candle holder as it was in the original.
Which
it
is
is slightly different.
It's very interesting.
The skull is no longer there. The skull has disappeared.
Oh.
We are now just in a black room with the smoke bellowing everywhere. The band logo and title are in a slightly dark grey. It is a bit hard to see what it says, but I kind of like that. It sort of blends into the whole sort of atmosphere. Back of the album has what I can only describe as some form of archway with a filter over it. When we look inside the album for the digipack, we see pictures of cemeteries with a black and white filter with some form of black sort of mist over the top of it.
Wow.
Behind the CD, which is just the front cover on the CD, we again have a continuation of the cemetery with the black smoke filter thing, which
that's really pretty.
That's what I was just gonna say. The pictures here are just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they really are.
I think that this again leads to that overall atmospheric feeling of Funeral Doom. When we look through the digipack, we have again this black smoky effect through a church.
Nice.
And then as we continue through, we just get some more ghostly, like apparition-y type things with skulls and stuff in a sort of fog-like atmosphere. Upon looking at the album art itself and applying it to what the album sounds like, I immediately fell in love with both.
Yeah.
So I immediately ran out, bought myself a t-shirt and the album.
Yes. So this, I think out of your three, this would be my favorite that you've talked about. Although I really like the Angel one too. I really like that. But this, I think, is a very, very complete, just gorgeous. You know.
Oh
hey,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
all,
The
they're all
album,
good, but that one intrigues me. It really
the
does.
album art is like, it feels like it's a solid, complete sort of feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very nice. I enjoy that.
So, last but not least.
Well, I hope not. I am going to talk about the album Digipack art, the band Urinome, their first album release, Obsequious. Obsequious it was released in 2020, and I heard it one time and I just had to have it. Very unusual music from Italy. So the logo, which is depicted on this, is done by Urinome. The cover art is by, and I do not know at all how to say this name, Excelistral. The name begins with an X, so it's very difficult for me to pronounce.
This seems like to be a running theme here.
Yeah, the layout is by Jacopo Marinelli, one of the band members, and I find it interesting that the band has a lot of control over all of their artwork and their layouts, the things they do. They're very artistic people. So what you have here is a cover with, how do I describe this? There's a sort of an ancient archway, probably like an old remnant of a castle or some form of could be a part to a cemetery. I don't know, but it's very, very ancient looking. And you have a lone woman standing in the middle of it with her mourning clothes, the old Victorian style mourning clothes on, just a sort of a silhouette. You have their logo very faint right above it in the sort of lighter grayish sky. When you open up the Digipack, you have more of these scenes that are just really unusual, just remnants of architecture, old architecture. And I don't know if these are actually artwork or photographs. It's very hard to tell. It could be a combination of both. And then it does wrap around onto the back with the same building, like as if it's another archway. So I don't know if they just duplicated that or if it's actually two archways that they took a photo of from somewhere. It's just very interesting. On the inside, you do have a sort of a wooden panel with just their logo in a larger size.
Which I have to say, the logo itself is really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's basically a very abstract angel form with a cross inside a coffin. So really interesting.
Which I think sums up their style perfectly.
Yeah. And then you have a photograph of the two band members on the middle, and then just some more of the wood with the same sort of logo on the other panel where the CD goes. And that's pretty much it. On the CD, you have the same artwork that's on the front cover, but you also get a booklet that has different artwork. And quite interesting. I do believe these are photos that have been touched up or altered, because that's just what they look like to me. You have interesting architecture with a very odd doorway sort of thing, a door. You have very old headstones or stones somewhere, almost like Stonehenge. And then, seriously, and then you have a page that has a picture of old skulls, which is just really nice. That's a nice photo.
It is.
You have sort of a ivy-covered sort of archway going into a little doorway, which could be an old crypt or mausoleum. They did do odd things with bodies back then. And then you have, it's really, this is just really a nice experience, this whole album and the artwork. It's just like one complete feeling about things. More headstones, really old, tumbling over near what I would assume would be water. Water always destroys things like that. And then on the back, you have a nice little compilation photo / artwork of a bunch of bass guitars, which they are known for. So there you have my final artwork. And I love all of these, so I can't really pick a favorite. I just, chose some that I enjoy.
Now, is it true, though, that the Urinome one was also part of a collector's edition?
Yes, which I purchased, which came with a sort of miniature wooden coffin with a bunch of stuff. So you can still look that up on Bandcamp if you would like to. They still show it there, I think. I'm not sure it's available or not. It was limited.
I'm sure I can find pictures to show off. If it's still available, I will give a link to that, plus everything else that we've mentioned here, as usual,
and
guys.
I do want to say that was well worth what I paid. Well worth it. There was a lot.
Absolutely. It is a fantastic piece.
Yeah. I think that all of the album art that we talked about, I like. I don't think there's any of it I would say, ew, well, yuck. I think it's all, and I think that these bands seriously thought about what they were putting on their album and how was it going to represent the album and their band. So right. I'm absolutely pleased with all of them. I like them all. But as far as just looking at these, all of them represent what they're supposed to represent. And really beautiful stuff.
Well, that's going to do it from us here, mourners. Until next time, remember, every day is a funeral.